Hello. So we're doing a little Jankuary 2 today. I'm gonna do some Spider-Man and the X-Men, Arcade's Revenge. Oh, hello, Hans Gong. First time chatter. Nice to see you. This is gonna be kind of a casual, just mess around with this game. I'm really out of practice. It's got really cool speedrun tech and execution, but I can't do any of that yet. But we're gonna have some fun anyway. I guess I should hop right into it. This game's really weird. I remember being a kid and going to a birthday party, and somebody got this as a gift, and it kind of killed the whole vibe of the party. Like, we all were like, oh man, Spider Man and the X Men, that's great, let's check that out. And we start playing it, and like the whole mood just got killed. Nobody had fun, it was so weird. For years, this was one of those games that everybody thought like really sucked. But now as an adult, I kind of love it, which is really weird. Yeah, you hated it as a kid, me too. For years it was like, oh, that game's terrible, it's garbage, how'd they do that? But it's got a weird history. Somebody who's a little more informed than me will probably know if anybody wants to put it in the chat or whatever. This game had like a really troubled development to the point where like the publisher was harassing the devs, like, hurry up, get the game done, and they had to like split the team up. So this kind of feels like 5 smaller games made by different people all put together. But also, strangely enough, I'm assuming it was just a license thing, like they had the stuff together. But this is kind of based on a comic that the game has nothing to do with, if that makes any sense. Like the comic that had Spider-Man and the X-Men in it did not have these X-Men in it and did not have Spider-Man doing these things. I'm already screwing up. This was that level everybody hated when they were young, because you have to do it every time you get game over. But if you have like the speedrun tech, this is actually a really fun execution type of thing. You kind of memorize where all the bombs are, and there's all these little tricks and damage boosts and stuff. But yeah, the original comic this was based on was an old X-Men comic from, I think, the late 70s, early 80s. It had completely different X-Men in it. Let's see if we could do the damage boost here. Come on, enemy. Okay, I guess not, whatever. There's supposed to be an enemy there that shoots, and then you can boost off of his projectile to skip this part, but we'll take it easy. I'm very rusty, you'll have to excuse me. And then there was another comic that came out later when this game first came out that was supposed to be like a tie-in for this. And that comic too has nothing to do with this game. Oh, I'm stuck. Like, Wolverine's costume is wrong, like all sorts of weird things. The name is Eon. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Welcome to the chat. I hope you're ready for some Spider-Manning and X-Menning. Oh, good to see you too, Mega Drivers. How you doing? And yeah, this is a super difficult game if you don't like know what you're doing, which clearly I am missing up already, but we'll just do that. If you ever watch a speed run of this game, it does this game way more justice. Like, there's all sorts of cool web tricks and stuff for this part of the stage. I rented the Genesis version once when I was a kid, and that version's got some trouble. Wow, I'm gonna die on the intro stage. Hell yeah. I guess the Genesis version came out after this, and it was kind of, I don't know if it was the same team, probably not, but there were like a lot of weird concessions and corners cut and things like that. Daredevil speedrun this game to make it look good, I hope so. Blind playthrough. But I remember being young, and this was always the annoying part, because you'd have to go look for all the bombs and wouldn't know where they are, and then you have to do the stage every time you get game over. But we're gonna make a save state right after this and cheat a little bit. Yeah, it was Acclaim Mega Drivers. I think it was back when they were experimenting with having different labels for different things. Arcade's kind of a loser. He's fought Spider-Man multiple times. Not the X-Men much though. We'll skip around a little bit. And the funny thing about Arcade is that it's never fun when he shows up. So the whole gimmick with Wolverine, this is one of those games where you are penalized for using your claws, which is dumb. So Wolverine can put the claws in and out. You do much less damage when the claws are in, but you can punch these jack-in-the-box enemies to get a heart. And that's how you heal as Wolverine, apparently. I'm not sure why they would do that way, but it beats like the NES game where you would take damage for using your claws, so... But yeah, basically you're just gonna keep the claws out the whole time. And then every now and then you'll stab one of these guys twice, put the claws away, and then punch them. And you'll notice Wolverine plays nothing like Spider-Man did. He's a little slower, a little more deliberate. And he has no mobility options. Big clown with the gun. It's a Juggalo dream. So the whole gimmick with Arcade is that he's like a master of gaming. And he's an assassin. Very cool. So he kidnaps superheroes regularly and then puts them in these big stupid theme park things with robots and mannequins and things like that to try to kill them. And to my knowledge, from every comic I've read with Arcade in it, he was really only successful doing this once. And it was him ripping off Battle Royale to kill a bunch of teenagers. And it was one of the worst comics I ever read. Gambit's face should be an emote, actually. It's a very good idea, Chunky. I'm gonna write that down. He's got like the... I don't want to say it's like a kissy face, but it looks really funny. Okay, we're gonna get Hill right here. This clown, by the way, is not a random generic clown. That's an actual Marvel character. I believe he mixed it up with the X-Men. His name was Obnoxio the Clown. Obnoxio. Which is a very, very random, weird pull, in my opinion, but... this game kind of just throws whatever it wants at the wall, so... You think Arcade is the type of guy to go after X-Force above the X-Men? I would love to see that. I would give so much to just have a comic with like Cable and his big stupid guns having to deal with this type of stuff. I've actually come around big on Cable in the past couple of years. At first I was always like, oh, that's dumb, Rob Liefeld, blah blah blah, and now I'm like, oh look, it's Apocalypse. Oh, Apocalypse killed me. Well, that's what that stage will be. We can come back to it. I'll run through and show everybody off once. Hello, Green Imp. How are you? So Cyclops plays a lot like Wolverine, but he can also kick and punch and shoot in eight directions. And for some reason, crouching locks him in place. And he dies instantly if he touches those tracks. I think this is the best song in the game. But this, if there's one thing you could say about this game, it's that all of the music is incredible. Alright, where's that minecart? This is the whole gimmick of this stage, is you ride minecarts around. Also, I should show off, next time I guys, let's see. Come on, dude, stand up. I want to show this thing off. Alright, whatever. You can punch bullets out of the air and not take damage, but that guy did not want to cooperate. Oh! Hello, Zophar. Good to see you. I was telling a friend I was doing this earlier, and we both thought it was very cool that Zophar is doing one of these things and that I was able to participate. So it's good to see you in the chat, and thank you for allowing me this opportunity. So Storm's whole gimmick is because she's claustrophobic. She doesn't want to be underwater, I guess. Tight spaces. And you have an oxygen meter that you have to keep track of, which is also your health bar. So the further down into the depths of the stage you go, you have to blow up these generators, or whatever they are, water pumps maybe, to make the water level rise so you can get to the top to get out. And apparently, well, I'm gonna drown already. Nope. Okay, cool. So she technically has infinite health. You just have to know what the water level is and where you can go up to breathe. So you can kind of, like, if I had run through real quick and blew up the second generator, I probably would have screwed myself. Storm's levels are probably the easiest, but they're also, like, the most time-consuming. Everything you shoot explodes. The walls, the enemies, the generators, the clams that hold items. Every one of those explosions will damage you if the fireball hits you. But yeah, there was an old Twitter thread I would love to be able to find, but that's impossible. With, I think there's even a little bit of the info about it on the cutting room floor. Talking about how, they were getting, like, faxes from Acclaim. Like, where's the game? Hurry up and finish the game. And, like, making all these changes and stuff. Getting, like, really passive-aggressive about it. And I'd love to read some of that, but... The only level you did beat was Cyclops Mega Drivers? Yeah. I've beaten the game, but it wasn't... Like, I think I had, an infinite lives cheat on, and I was abusing save states. And that's mostly just because it's like, I wouldn't care about dying and having to redo the level. It's the fact that you still have limited lives, and then when you die, you gotta do the whole game over. That would drive me nuts. Oh, there it is. That mine wasn't there before. That was nonsense. Oh, they're on Blue Sky? I gotta check that out then. Thank you. I remember reading it when it was first posted originally, and then being like... You know, a lot of things made sense. Because you see the game and you're like, why does this feel... Oh. I wasn't paying attention. Ran into an explosion. But, this game feels very disjointed, as I was saying before, and, seeing all that kind of made it make sense to me. So this is Gambit's gimmick. There's a ball trying to kill you. You can throw cards, and, the cards go in, depending on how hard you hit the button is how far they fly. And Gambit's the only character in the game with limited ammo. I don't remember if I can jump to get that, so we're not gonna... Yeah, we'll do it, whatever. It's very hard to tell what a platform is in the Gambit stages. I think they're my least favorite stages in the game because of things like that, but you have to, like, spend so many cards to do things like this. Actually, can we just... No. I'm out of cards. I'm actually stuck. Alright. That's cool. Oh, I actually guess didn't make a save state when I was hitting the button, so we get to do this part again. Maybe I didn't have my hotkeys set up right. But whatever, this is the Spider-Man and X-Men experience. You go through this stage until you're an expert, and then you play all of the other stages once and die, and then have to do it again. There we go. I think the Gambit stages are the most annoying to me. And then the Storm ones are like really easy, so I usually do those first to get them out of the way. And then end up doing like Wolverine and Cyclops. Spider-Man stages are actually the most mechanically interesting in my opinion. And then the only thing about that is there's only like 2 or 3 of them. I swear there's an enemy. There he is. Wow, I fucked that up. But yeah, you can hit that bullet, and then I think if you turn when you get hit, so you fly backwards, you can damage boost up there. You said they have a different developer, DJ? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It feels like that. Like, I know they had to get a bunch of different teams to come in, but it feels like they, one person did, like, the Spider-Man segments. Maybe another person did the Wolverine and Cyclops segments, and then Storm and Gambit. Oh, Lady Lunastine, good to see you. How are you, Celine? I don't know what you typed that automod got. I actually don't recall having automod on, so that's interesting. And yeah, it's a Fallen Brothers soundtrack, and the music, again, is incredible. I think, of all of the stuff about this game that you could say, one thing you could never hold against it is the music. So that guy being orange means he takes more damage, so normally if I wasn't trying to play it safe because I'm out of practice and whatnot, you would just let that guy hit you and keep running, but I would also like to know a little more about because I believe these are the same people that made Maximum Carnage afterwards. And that game is like night and day compared to this. That's actually one of my favorite beat 'em ups, so I'd be curious to know, like, did something really go wrong with this and then that was them flexing, or was that, you know, them working the bugs out on this and then that's where they were excelling? I'm gonna make a save state the old-fashioned way. There we go. Let's try Spidey stage. You could do a damage boost right there, but also the background looks nuts. I don't know if that's like some cool clip art they had laying around or what it's supposed to be. Maybe it's supposed to look like clouds or something, but oh, you gotta swing into it, okay. Why is he swinging so low? Maybe that's not what we're supposed to do. I actually don't remember the normal way. That's funny. This is another guy you're supposed to damage boost on, but we'll just take it the old way. Okay, bye. Okay. I guess not. The concrete parts you cannot stick to. I don't think Capcom ever did use exposed rebar as a spike in a Mega Man level, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Oh, that's not. That's where you're supposed to damage boost. That's what it was. If anybody who's a little versed on Mega Man knows, that would be a very interesting thing to know for the gamer facts. Robot doesn't fear the rebar. Mega Man fears any sharp object. Are you crazy? I don't even think it's him hitting the spike that damages him. I think it's the anxiety of having to worry about it. It just makes him crumple. There is a healing item here somewhere. So I have hotkeys for save states on my controls, but apparently I did not have them. Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, I have them on triggers for some reason. Okay, that's strange. Hello, Cobra Commander. Happy Jankuary to you too. I did not expect this many people to come out for this. This is wild. Usually I get like 2 people in the chat and then they leave after a couple of minutes. Alright, so the goal for this stream is to beat 1 level that's not the intro. It's funny, I was doing a little bit of practicing and a little bit of research to de-rust and looking at speed runs. And I was like, oh yeah, I could do that, no problem. And then as soon as you go live, it all starts falling apart. My backup game, I was actually going to play the NES Wolverine if this didn't get accepted. And that's really funny, because I don't think that was made by the same people. You know, they all just say LJN on them, but that game feels like a prototype of these types of stages. They don't convey, maybe in the instruction booklet they do, but there's like nothing about this game that says punching a jack in the box with your bare hands would heal you. It's kind of the most fascinating thing to me about this game is how, you know, I get it because, you know, Murder World, robots, arcade, whatever, but there are so many baffling things where it's like, I don't really understand how that has any real-world purpose. Like why Wolverine would not just heal normally, he would have to punch things to get hearts. Or like in the Cyclops level, you can blow up carts full of gems, and that heals you. Hit detection, my old friend. Can we just do this? No. I also had a friend tell me one day that we were talking about this game, and they were like, it feels more like a game that was developed for the Amiga, with like the way the backgrounds are done and the music and whatnot. I'm not too versed in the Amiga, but what they were saying made a lot of sense. So I'd be curious to know if other people thought the same, or maybe if there was some kind of lineage there that makes that make sense. Alright, time to die in Apocalypse again. You know what? We're gonna make a save state. Yeah, that's what I thought. You're supposed to be able to just punch him in the arm, and that does damage. But I also feel like maybe there's a piece of that I'm missing. I usually just get lucky on him and just mash him to death, but I probably could have came into here with full health too. That would have been smart. All right, one more time. Infamous jobber party. Yeah, I could see that. They're supposed to, they're supposed to be like murder bots or robots or something, but it really does just feel like, oh yeah, what's up, Apocalypse? You hanging out? There's actually a like a tie-in comic that they released along with this game. I was talking about it a little bit before, but like that's not really accurate to this. Like for some reason Wolverine has the yellow costume. Like things like that, but the Marvel Wiki says that that comic may or may not be canonical. Nobody's sure, but there's really no reason that it wouldn't be. And in that comic, it's ambiguous as to of whether Apocalypse and Juggernaut, who Wolverine fights, are the actual Apocalypse and Juggernaut. Like they specifically point out, like Obnoxio is just a robot, but they don't say anything about the big hitters. Which is even funnier, because then when you're playing as Spider-Man, you will fight Rhino and Carnage, which is a strange team. And then they point out specifically, yeah, those are robots. So in my head, there exists a world where Apocalypse had nothing better to do than go troll Wolverine in a carnival. Alright, it's one stab and 2 punches, does it? Yeah, Rhino and Carnage. Yeah, that's a weird team up, right, Dope? If we get to that boss battle, I'd love to show it, because it's really stupid. It is just Rhino running back and forth, and then Carnage jumping back and forth. There we go. And then I'll immediately lose all of that health on the buzzsaw. So the whole gimmick is that Rhino has to be swung into to do damage. Oh no. And that's hard to do with Carnage jumping around. And Chef's Kiss, I guess. Oh wow, we're gonna get up to Apocalypse and die again, aren't we? Yeah, if I keep missing this jump, I'm gonna walk into the saw blade again, right? Where was it? Right here? Yeah. Oh, okay, we got it that time. I died to a clown. Okay. We tried. So Wolverine has a healing factor. It doesn't work very well. If your claws are in, you will like very extremely slowly regain health. I think up to a certain point. I don't think you can kick the bullets. I don't know why I tried to do that. And then when you have the Jack in the Boxes, if you stab them with your claws, they won't heal you, but if you punch them to death with your bare fists, they will give you a little heart. Makes perfect sense. Alright, so what we're actually supposed to do, which I am not demonstrating, is jump and punch the dudes. Wow! Alright, you know what we're gonna do is try Wolverine again. Now I'm gonna make a fresh save state here is what I'll do. Oh, this Cyclops outfit is rad. It doesn't get enough love, in my opinion, the old X Factor costume. I still got hit, that's funny. It's a very strange smattering of costumes they have in this game. Like, I'd have to check the years and see what they were wearing at the time, but... Like, I know when this game came out, it was, like, right during the whole, Saturday morning cartoon. Wow, that's a big explosion. So, like, by now, like, Cyclops was wearing the Jim Lee costume and all that. This is going backwards, but I just felt like doing it. I'm gonna miss that card, right? Don't fall. You gotta be joking. I am probably one of the few people that likes the Cyclops costume where his hair is not exposed. I think they use it for a lot of current comics, and then depending on who is making the comic at the time, they are very quick to go back to the old Jim Lee look. You know, with the yellow belts. To the point where they even do it in, like, the movies. Wow. Maybe if I just run past that guy next time instead of stopping to punch him. Alright, is this the time we get it? Yes! And we hit the bomb. Good stuff. Yeah, if that bomb hits the cart and you don't shoot it, it instantly blows up the cart and kills you. Wow, I still got hit. That's incredible. I didn't even see what hit me. Was that a stalactite or a stalagmite? Yes, I agree. The minute you find out you cannot walk on the railroad tracks is the minute you're like, nah, screw this. I remember being like, this is way too difficult. That's super annoying. So every time I grab this ball, the ball, no pun intended, goes back a little bit. And I believe that the gimmick is supposed to be that, wow, okay. That's not the gimmick. Obviously, you want to go as quick as you can, but, yeah, the ball recedes. When you kill these enemies, they give you cards as well. So even though you're spending cards, you're gaining cards. So there's like a weird balance you have to reach where you're not just running through the stage, avoiding shit to hurry up. I've never been good at these stages. It always made me mad. I was like, Gambit has a stick. Why can't he use it? Like, it makes sense from, you know, you're designing a certain type of gameplay that you would want to have, like, an ammo problem, but... What's the trick here? That probably could have been done smoother, but whatever. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You touch that ball at all, and that game's like, nah. These portraits crack me up, too. Oh, thanks for stopping in, DJ Tatsugen. Always good to see you, buddy. Have fun at work. These fish, honestly, it's easier to just let them hit you and then heal. The thing I had always thought about this game, if they were trying to have these different types of levels and variety, I was saying before how it feels very disjointed. I think even if they went as far as instead of giving you a level select, where you had to go through like 2 stages for each character, if they just had all those stages mixed together, so like you would do a Spider-Man stage and then it would make you do a Wolverine stage, like stuff like that, it would go a long way to make the game feel more cohesive as a whole. Okay, we're gonna go up and heal and then come back down and hit those. What is up with those Spider-Man magic cards, Celine? I see some friends post about them online, but I've been out of Magic for ages, and I'm very, crossovers get kind of lame to me lately. Like, I think I'm just kind of over things being mixed together so much, which is very funny considering I'm playing a crossover game, but I've seen some pictures and whatnot and been very confused. Also, it's wild that Swarm is still remembered at all. They had Swarm show up in like a little cameo thing in that WandaVision show, and people were like, who's the bee guy? I think the last time I saw Swarm, actually was the last time I saw Arcade too, was in the Spider-Man and Deadpool comic where they team up. They apparently have like a 50 comic run with that concept, which is wild to me, but Swarm was one of the guys that they showed up and had a big throwdown with for no reason, and the whole joke was, wow, it's Swarm, remember him? I don't know if Swarm was in that musical, Turn Off the Dark. I get conflicting reports, and I've never been able to, like, actually watch the whole thing, but I do know they had Swiss Miss, which was a character they made up specifically for that, who was like a lady made out of spiders or something. I forgot the one generator again, yo. I don't think that bomb spawns until after I break that generator. It would be very funny if Swarm's biggest hit was being in the Spider-Man musical where people got injured, though. It's funny, as a big Spider-Man fan, you tell me that there's a... Oh, fuck, I didn't even see that guy. You tell me there's a musical where Spider-Man is swinging around and singing, and I'm like, heck yes, sign me up. Yep. Take that fish hit. I don't know what those pearls even do. Yep. There's a major pull for whales. I just can't imagine the idea of, like, I don't know, like, I think people forget, especially when they do crossovers and stuff, that, like, the world building and the aesthetic and the set dressing and all that is kind of important to your thing existing. So when you have a thing that's, like, primarily, like, you know, a game of dueling wizards summoning their creatures and casting spells, and someone's just like, oh yeah, I played my hot dog cart and my Spider-Man card. It's kind of, like, weird to me, I guess. I think a little bit of that's nice, but I think there's like way too much of that going on. Oh, culinary disaster. That's a heck of a name. Let's just take our damage now, right? Come on, fish. Oh, did I miss another one? I saw the bagel card. That's the one that actually had me being like, what the hell? Yeah, that bagel card, I was... Oh, there's two of them and they hit the ceiling and explode? That's lame. Yeah, I couldn't imagine, like, I'm playing my, well, let me not try to name Magic cards. I haven't played Magic in, like, 20 years, but... I couldn't imagine, like, you know, doing, like, a whole spell combo and all that, like, laying out all these cards and, like, Pernicious Deed and this and that, yada yada, and my bagel and schmear. That enemy just vanishes. It doesn't even have, like, a destroyed animation. Dude, I can't see that guy. Happy Jankuary, Culinary Disaster. I love that username. Dude, that's... Oh yeah, I did the speed. I did the damage boost backwards. Whatever. You can just die, buddy. I encourage everybody who is not familiar with this game to watch a speedrun of it. Because I'm not doing it justice in the gameplay, but for all of us that grew up being like, this game's whack, it's lame, you watch like in the speedrun, you see like the execution that goes into knowing where to do the tricks and the boosts, and it like gives this game like a whole new life. So is Universes Beyond just a thing that Magic is doing now, like forever, Celine? This guy should not be... Whoa! I'll take it. That one enemy. We are 40 minutes in and I haven't beaten a single level past the intro. That's really funny. When I was first planning for this, I was like, alright, well if I beat the game, I can play something else earlier. I can try to show off tricks. I kind of remember a little bit now about why, being a child, we were all so frustrated at that birthday party. Yeah, for those that showed up late, I started the stream off talking about an anecdote. When I was a kid and this game was new, like when it first came out, I had gone to a birthday party for one of my friends, and they got it as a gift. And we were all like, oh, sick, hell yeah, Spider-Man and the X-Men, this is gonna rule. So we all went and ran into the other room to, you know, pop it in and play it. And like it instantly killed the vibe of the whole party. Like nobody was having fun anymore. The parents were taking the kids home early. Just totally shut down the whole party. Noxio, you're cool. The fact that I'm streaming it gives me... You know, in an alternate universe, I would be speedrunning this game. I think it's really got... Like, I see the potential for this to be a fun thing, but... The hard part is getting past the annoyance. Like I was saying before, too, the only time I beat this was with, Dave States and an Infinite Lives cheat. Well, yeah, once you get the rote memorization down, I think executing the tricks would be fun. The sound, the music's great, so I would definitely jam on that all day, but the sound effects leave a lot to be desired. I think this stage with the clowns is probably one of the most annoying, but Spider-Man stage where everything's exploding all of the time if there's 2 enemies on the screen. I would have given that a second pass if it were me. So I gotta get past this level because I want to show off the Juggernaut level because that's funny. That level really feels like somebody had an idea and then they just gave up. Like, this is a whole level with, like, enemy placement and things like that. The Juggernaut level is just a straight line. And the whole gimmick is that you have a guy chasing you, like the ball in the Gambit stage. And same thing, if he hits you, you instantly die. And you have to try to punch weights and make them fall onto his head. And that's it. That's the whole stage. Alright, let's make a new save state here. Maybe it's a timing thing. Yeah, literally every time I've seen this, it's just been mashing on this guy until he dies. And it is not happening. You see when he does the extendo arm, how if I stab him, it pushes him back? Well, let's not get inside of him, but... we'll get it. Or we won't. Alright, let's try to be pragmatic. Every time he jumps, we're gonna jump and stab him. That's probably the proper way to do it. Okay, or we'll mess the rhythm up. Got him. Alright, so I don't know what I did differently there, but well done. Good, we got one ball down. An alternate timeline where it was Marvel vs. Street Fighter instead. Are you talking about like the game Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter? Do you mean this game being a weird crossover with Marvel and Street Fighter? Let me show off the Wolverine too. You're gonna love this. This is dumb. So he has a certain amount of damage that you have to do to him, and he will randomly speed up, or you will just completely miss and get a thing dropped on your head. But you basically have to do a certain amount of damage to him before you get to the end, or you're screwed. And I do not remember what that specific amount of damage is. Oh, didn't see that one. Alright, so I'm totally gonna die right here, but... oh, buddy. Yeah, I got stuck. Yeah, you basically have to drop a certain amount of those weights on his head to do enough damage. And then at the end, no matter what, you have to punch him. And it's kind of like a weird little tug of war, like a push and pull. If you get too far ahead, he'll rubber band and speed up. I still got hit by that. Amazing. You can drop the weight in front and let him run into it, but I think it does less damage. I think it only does 1 damage if you do that, as opposed to that doing 4. I can't remember which one of them does more damage. Oh, I'm fucked. Whoa. It's either the anvil or the 1-ton weight will do 4 damage, I think, and the other one does 2, assuming it lands on his head. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, I think I can also punch him in the head to slow him down. Yeah, I love how he's flexing too the whole time, Dope PC. That's actually my favorite, like where you just gotta show it off once. Like, that's an amazing animation right there. As he slowly walks towards you. Rhino's is even funnier in the Spider-Man stage, but I don't think we're gonna make it to that. That's Spider-Man's second stage after a whole bunch of nonsense. Wow, okay. Oh! Don't fall in the ball pit, kids. Yeah, Rhino's animation is so bad that I didn't know it was Rhino when I first played the game. I was just like, it's some weird naked gray guy. We're gonna try to get ahead a little bit. I think I have done enough damage right now where as long as I drop a couple of weights later, maybe right here. Yep. It's fine, we'll take that. Punch. Alright, one more try. You know, it's funny, a lot of people think Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter is the most lackluster of the versus games, but I think that game is actually pretty cool. I think it's a little less crazy than, say, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, which is my favorite, but I think due to them making it a little more limited, you kind of have to get a little more creative. I also think Dan and Shumagorath is a very funny idea for a team. Oh, I didn't mean to stab that. This background is killing me too, like the infinite clown void. Oh, okay, yeah, if he goes ahead of you, like if he touches you, he does damage, but if he gets ahead of you, you instantly die.